Hey guys, what's up? This is Colin. This is Why Not Make, channel where I've done some projects with boomboxes in the past, and I have neglected getting to have a chance to work on some old boomboxes recently, but I've got the time today, and so I actually acquired probably about 12 new boomboxes today from a guy that I know in a local town that he picks them up at estate sales, and I just buy them from him, probably about 4 times a year, whatever he finds. A lot of times they're the things that you find like a garage sale, the smaller little old radios that usually have radio and cassette, and they can either run off batteries in the back or they can plug in the wall. So I got a couple right here, and something I wanted to try today was testing out a new to me option for Bluetooth streaming from your phone to like an old boombox. And so I know from actually plugging these in today how what condition they're in. The radios work on both of these, but the cassette decks in each of them, they don't basically they don't play. So there's something wrong with them. It's probably one of the belts inside that has deteriorated over time, and so you're probably not going to be necessarily fixing these by sending them into somebody to have them rebuilt the cassette deck. And basically what you're left with is something that either just works with the radio and you can still use it like that, and a lot of people do. I've done some projects on how to put like a rechargeable battery in these things and basically be able to run them off a $20 battery that you can recharge for a long time versus having like 8D batteries, and that actually costs like 15 bucks. So having a rechargeable battery pack, you just have to essentially know what you're doing to install that into the kind of current electronics in the boombox. I've got a couple videos on kind of how I do it. Not a professional, I'm just a hobbyist, so you can kind of maybe see what I did and go from there. But today I want to show you guys something that I was unfamiliar with, and this is actually a cassette adapter for Bluetooth. So this is it says Bluetooth cassette adapter. So this one is made by Arvista and Ars Vita. Hold on, Arsvita. Ars Vita. This one's made by. I could do that in a lot of different accents, and I don't know which one the right one is. Ars Vita. Sounds gibberish, but I bet it's not made in America, and that is probably the case. But it doesn't matter. This is a certain brand. I will put a link in the description on one that I got if you want it. There's a few different features I think on different ones, but what this does is it goes in the cassette deck of the boombox just like a tape would, and it has its own battery inside. So we'll turn it on here. You hold a button down, and it's probably going to connect to my phone because I've already connected to it once. Ars Vita is connected. Ars Vita is connected. Okay, so what we have here is a boombox, or old radio, that the radio part works. Now, we always turn it down before we turn it on. And didn't have it tuned or anything. But you can get the radio. So that is usually the last thing to go. You turn this to tape mode and you press play. You can hear a buzzing, but nothing's turning. So these spindles aren't turning, and that means that the motors thinks it's going. It's still turning, but the belt connected to it is either broken, stretched out, disintegrated, or the thing it's connected to is broken, stretched out, or disintegrated. So somewhere in there, there's probably two belts or a belt that are in need of repair. And so I've turned it on by holding the button down. It has its own battery inside and obviously a Bluetooth transmitter, because we're going to be... Nope, it has a Bluetooth receiver. Yep, because we're streaming from my phone. Okay, Bluetooth receiver in here and a little battery. I haven't cracked it open because I only have one, and I'll get another one and break it and show you. But it is on, and so when we press play, hold on. When you press play, one of the things that happens is it's supposed to turn one of these wheels in here to pull the tape through the cassette. And it basically brings the cassette tape in line with the tape head, which is like a magnetic reader, and the tape goes by and the magnetic reader transmits that data into what becomes like the louder audio signal. And it's mechanically moving these things kind of together. And what the fake thing does is it actually uses what normally would be the tape running by and tells it that it's whatever music we're streaming to it, that's what's supposed to be playing. So when we hit play, even though the wheels aren't turning because the motor's broken, we can still play music. Okay, let's see if this works. And we're gonna turn it up. So I can pause it from my phone and obviously play it. I can switch songs, or can I?
Crafting the introduction
To an advertisement. You can use the volume up here still to adjust how loud and everything is. So you kind of got two volumes. You got your volume from your phone and how loud that signal is, and then the actual volume on the boombox. So I would assume that you would want to kind of keep the volume on your phone at a higher reasonable level and then use the boombox to amplify that. Alright, so I've got the volume fairly high on my phone, and then you can turn it up on here. So that one, on that one, the tape deck didn't work, so you couldn't put a normal cassette in there and actually play it. The motor was trying to run, but the belts were gone or shot or something, so the tape deck, you couldn't put a tape in there, a normal tape, but you could use one of these Bluetooth cassette adapters and put this in place of a tape. And even though the tape deck wouldn't work with a normal tape, it can still work with one of these, which is awesome. So I think this is maybe one of my favorite Bluetooth ways to do this, because I've done videos on how I put like Bluetooth in by soldering in some connections. There's a few ways that are easier if it already has an auxiliary input like built into the original kind of amplifier, but if not, you can do some things by going in through the cassette part of it. There's just a few ways I've done it. This is easier. This is really easy. So this boombox, let's try it out. Turn the volume down and turn the radio on. Alright, so the radio works. If we go to tape, and I probably have a tape around here, because you never know if this thing's going to eat a tape. So let's try it. So it's just buzzing, bzz, and it is not playing the tape. Now we're going to stop it. This is another radio that is cool. I love it. I bought it. Radio works. It's gonna work forever probably, but the tape deck is not, because the belts are shot. You could pay somebody to redo the belts. You could do it yourself for sure. It's pretty hard on some of them, and it's really hard on others, is what I would say. What do you do when you have a boombox like this, or a radio that the cassette doesn't work but the radio does? Use one of these adapters. Let's try putting it in. I haven't even tried it on this one, so I don't know if there's much difference. Again, this is another one where the tape deck doesn't work, so let's try it. Oh, you gotta hit play though. Oh, it does. Oh, okay, that's a lot of background noise. I feel like we might, I feel like the lady in Contact. Yep, they're coming. So that has nothing to do with my phone. Well, let's see. So that's the background. So here's going to be my 2 cents. This tape head is probably really dirty. That's something that is likely the case because this boombox was really dirty when I got it. I just heard a bunch of crappy sound from it at the same time. But I will do some cleaning on the head, which some alcohol on a swab, and see, I bet that noise was from the tape deck itself, just being dirty. If it's not, that's one of the drawbacks, because this thing is really convenient every other way. It's got a micro USB charger on the side. It's micro USB, means it's pretty common. This thing's pretty cool. I would recommend it, I guess. And I'll put a link in the description to show you where you can buy it. So when it comes to adding Bluetooth, I don't know. This is probably the easiest way that I've found. So anyway, check this out. I love these old boom boxes. I think I bought like 15 of them today. I spent a decent amount of money actually on stereo stuff today. So I take it home and I start cleaning it and testing it and posting it on eBay. I'll probably do actually some more videos on how I sell stuff like that on eBay too, because honestly, if you see these old radios and you have like an inkling to fix them up, you can definitely make some money. Same with old stereo stuff. So that's kind of one of the things that I do, and amongst other things. But hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you kind of think about maybe this is an option for the Bluetooth, because the cassette adapter of yonder year, which I was familiar with the cord sticking out, is gone, and everything is stuck in here in this little cassette, and it is pretty nice, pretty easy. So check it out. So thank you, Arsvita. I can't even say it if I'm trying to do the accent. Arsvita. Hey, thanks, Arsvita. I just want to go Swedish. Anyway, thanks for watching Why Not Make. I don't know.